I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time for Bobby. Thank you so much for that. If anyone's interested in requesting any other type of videos, or reviews, or reactions, whatever, feel free. You just send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both things are down below in the info box. Now, Wall-E, I would say is my favorite Pixar film, hands down. Some people would say Toy Story or others. For me, it's Wall-E. I love the look of the film. I think it's beautiful. I like the story of the film. Granted, I would say I like the beginning portions more, which is kind of like almost a silent movie. Because you have two characters that don't really talk much, but silent as in lack of dialogue, I should say. Because there is music and sound effects. But I loved the characters. I thought Wall-E himself was endearing. Gave me a little bit of Johnny Five vibes. I know they deny it, but I have to think someone was inspired by Johnny Five Short Circuit for Wall-E. I have to think so, despite them denying it. And even later on, where it showcases the story of wanting to stop being lazy and humanity actually picking itself back up instead of sitting there like a vegetable letting everything do for you. A decent bit of message there as well as entertaining adventures with some beautiful visuals, like when Wall-E and Eve are going through the stars and one has a fire extinguisher and they're doing this dance on space. And this is a beautiful looking movie. I'm trying to remember if I saw this in theaters. I don't know. But it definitely looks glorious on Blu-ray, I'll say that. I like the setup in this rundown Earth, and you have just this one little robot that goes around. He has his job to compact trash. The only friend is his little cockroach that he accidentally steps on, and then the cockroach is like, I didn't build to act without dialogue, with reaction, movement, sound effects, music. That was very cool. It was different. It made it a bit more unique. And sadly, when this film came out, there are some people that just label it as boring, especially kids. And all I can say is those kids, if you think it's boring, wait a couple years, try it again. Maybe they'd appreciate it more. And I thought they did a nice job building this world where there's all this stuff around the desolate cities, like the old versions of Wall-E, so if he is broken down, he'll take stuff to repair himself. Or where he lives, and all the trinkets he's found, all the spare parts he's found, the light bulbs, the Rubik's Cube, the various things. Being a big fan of old-timey musicals. I wonder if it would work if it was something a bit more modern, like from the 70s and 80s, like if it was like Grease or something of that nature. But for the story they were going with, the movie they used and the music they used did fit perfectly fine. And like stuff like he finds a bra and he finds all this other trinkets. And all of a sudden this other robot arrives named Eve that's much more advanced and sleek compared to Wall-E. And like this almost love story starts happening without much dialogue. Again, it made it interesting and feel more unique compared to the various other movies that had come out. Not only during that time, but to this day. And there were moments that did make me chuckle because of that. Like Eve is very adamant on shooting stuff. And when she's looking around Wall-E's place, there's the one of those fish that sings. And it's like, don't worry, be happy. Now she's ready to shoot it, and Wall-E's like, no, no, no. He really loves that talking, singing fish. And that made me laugh because I remember those things when they were a big deal. And just great landscapes of the desolate earth or in space, like when he's hitching a ride and he's raising his hand up, or in the space station with all the different advertisements and people, big obese people, everything handed to them. Which part of me was honestly was like, that's the life for me. Just sit there, watch out. That's life for me. But you know, there is a good message to it. And really, you could just supplant that with this, honestly. Like just doing this all day. But I thought it worked in this instance. It worked. Some people may feel that's too on the nose or too preachy. I don't know. I thought it worked here. I understood the message, and I thought it was a fairly valid message, as well as being an entertaining film on its own right. It is weird that the humans look different, because you see humans advertisements on Earth, and I think it's Fred Willard. I think sadly he's passed away, which is too bad. Fred Willard. But they show him, actually him. But then when they show humans later, it's cartoonish, you know, like the rest of the movie. Maybe that's part of the joke, is that they were us, and now it's been turned into a cartoony version. I don't know if that was the point. I just found it weird that the advertisers were actual real people, but then the humans are just more... I don't know 100% the reasoning for that. I mean, is that the joke? That by living the servitude of oneself, that you're no longer in the real world, you're the... I don't know. And again, it has a decent message, as someone puts it. I don't want to survive, I want to live. And you know, the robot AI system on the station, what it wants, what it doesn't want, and then the humans finding out what they can do and what they should do. And then you have this whole adventure with Wall-E, like when he's put into this almost, I don't want to say robot prison, but captivity. He's able to break out, and all the robots, all the different interesting little robots. You have like the little one that always follows him around cleaning shit and get more and more pissed off the more he has to clean. You have like an umbrella one. You have all these different robots. And I'm a sucker for robots in movies. I don't know, maybe that's still the kid part of me. that there's that party that would love to see a robot or meet a robot in real life, just like as a kid, maybe you deal with aliens or supernatural, whatever the case may be. So the fact that you have non-humans as the leads, look at that. What have I said before? You can make a non-human the lead if you do it well. Wall-E does it well. And of course they did it with Finding Nemo, with fish in the water, in the sea, the toys in Toy Story, which I enjoyed those films as well. Finding Nemo I did see in the theater. But, yeah, they did with a fish and they did with toys. Why not do it with a robot? We would under the water, Nemo, let's go out in space. I don't know if this made as much money compared to the other Pixar films, which is too bad. But it does seem, on the flip side, the one that gets the more notice. Deservedly so, in my opinion. You have beautiful camera work when they're going as fast as they can through the space station, like when Wall-E's hurt and Eve wants to carry him and helping them, and they're both helping each other, like Wall-E's helping Eve out and vice versa. I like the idea that they showcase, like for a good chunk of the film, they showcase that Wall-E is in love with Eve, wants to care for Eve, but then there is a point where it does switch it up, and it does fully showcase that Eve feels the same way, that this robot does feel the same way for Wall-E, and she's doing what she can to help him out. And even like, fuck protocol, fuck this, I want to help him out. And try to save him and tears from... I like that, because sometimes you get in movies where that feels one-sided. Like, you really get the idea that one loves the other, but not so much that it's reciprocated. Not the case here. And it's actually kind of a fun, very sweet love story, really not between two robots. And then the whole backdrop with the humans, hey, pick yourselves up and in a way grow up, and you could do some great things. And like I said, the effects are gorgeous, the CG animation is gorgeous, and the movie to me is terrific. I really don't have much issues with the film. I know it doesn't seem like I have much to say about the film. It's just, like I said, the look of the picture. Like the first half, again, with the whole like almost silent film type quality, interesting. There's that part of me that wonders if I would wish for the entire film to be that way, just for how unique it would be. But I do appreciate the story they told as well. And the world building, like we learn the history of what happened via these screens, these billboards across the desolate city. We get to put two and two together what happened to this place and this planet. A sense of Wall-E's isolation, loneliness, him wanting to be friends. Right, there are times Wall-E comes this close to being a creeper. When Eve gets a plant, because she gets this plant, part of her protocol, then she's closed off until, I guess, something arrives to bring her back. And Wall-E's like knocking on her thing and like trying to grab her hand, and a little bit of creeper mentality, stalker mentality, so to speak. It could be interpreted the wrong way. Like, what if she's sleeping and you're trying to, I don't know, diddle her when she sleeps, Wall-E, you perverted fuck, wall-eyed fuck, you fucking pervert. But I was surprised Wall-E has been canceled because of that. Watch, Wall-E will get canceled for that reason. They'll come to that conclusion, which I'm making as a joke, but someone's going to think that is serious and cancel Wall-E. Sooner or later. Just the way the world is. But yeah, I thought it was a fun, still think it's a beautiful looking movie. And just hit all the right notes for me for Pixar. For a Pixar flick. You know, the love story aspect was endearing and sweet. The lack of dialogue was actually rather welcoming. You need a bit more when you have the humans introduced, but again, that made it a bit refreshing. Feel like its own thing. Also, I guess it taking place in space, I'm a sucker for, compared to the other Pixar films. And Wall-E, the fact he looks a bit like Johnny Five, and I'm a big Short Circuit fan, because I love Short Circuit 1 and 2. It's almost like this is the Short Circuit 3 I never got. So, in a way, this is the Short Circuit 3 with Johnny Five as this robot. So, in a weird way. I guess, truthfully, you could, if you did a couple things, you could turn this into a Short Circuit 3 in a way. Because Johnny Five will live forever, and then maybe in the future, you know, this is where he's at, and then what's the next step? A love story. There you go. Second film, he'd have to be a citizen, looked as a human, now the next step. So yeah, I guess in a way, I'm just thinking about this now, in a way it is kind of Short Circuit 3. The next step, the next level. Interesting, I never really thought of it. Thought the Johnny Five connection, but not that part. Okay, maybe that's why I liked it. Oh, sometimes I taught this stuff out. But yeah, I love the film. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.